Today I bring you something a little bit different. So, it is wrestling related. So anyone tuning in for a book haul, please stay tuned because it's book related as well. And don't be put off by the fact that it's wrestling. It's books, it's tapping, it's page flipping, it's whispering. It's everything that you want from a book haul. Just maybe not on a subject you're used to. So maybe it'll open your eyes and open your mind to different types of books. Anyone who watches this channel regularly knows I'm a football and wrestling fan. I am also a big reader, and I have a stack of football autobiographies which I'll get another day. Today it's wrestling autobiographies, and we have quite a few of those. So, just to give you a rough idea, not that I can hold them all at once. You'll be able to see from the thumbnail shortly that how many books there are. I can't get them all on the screen right now. There's just too many. And there's still more here. So I'm not going to have time to go into detail on every single book, but I thought we could just have a look at them, see what I've got here. Maybe read the backs of them. Oops. So first of all, we have. It needs a bit of light in here. Let's turn that light on here. There we go. We have Mick Foley, The Hardcore Diaries. Anyone who knows Mick Foley will know he's released a few books over the years. This was one of them. It says, what was I thinking? Another autobiography. A third. Who did I think I was? Winston Churchill. Why would I want to set my pen loose on hundreds of sheets of notebook paper unless I really felt I had something worth writing about? Besides, I had a wrestling comeback to prepare for. Mentally and physically, provided I could get Vince McMahon and WWE great staff to embrace what I was sure was the single greatest storyline of my career. Then it hit me, the storyline. I'd give WWE fans unprecedented access to a world wrestling entertainment, covering everything from conception to completion. I'd recount how I felt about specific interviews and matches, whether they helped or hurt. I'd expose the backstage politics, shed some light on my rocky relationship with Vince McMahon, offer insights into my personal dealings with WWE superstars, and tell stories about my favourite divas. But I wasn't interested in writing just a wrestling book. I would share moments from my personal life as well, from a humorous look at my unlikely dinner with polarising neocon Paul Wolfowitz, to my haunting meeting with a severely burned boy in Afghanistan, to my peculiar obsession with a certain jolly old elf. I knew I could make the fans care about this storyline, provided I could once again find the passion to make the story come to life in arenas around the country and on television sets around the world. Most importantly, I had to ask myself a vital question. When upon this whole idea, and therefore the book you hold hinges, was I... Hang on guys, what else is to you? There we go. Was I willing to become the first voluntary member of the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club? I sat on the idea for a few days to let the idea ripen and mature in my mind like a fine vintage wine, and to figure out if I really was willing to kiss his ass. I mean literally kiss another man's ass. Sure, I'd be kissing the same guy's ass figuratively for a decade, but this was different. Did I really have the testicular fortitude required for such a task on international television, in front of millions, including my wife and kids? I made the call. It's a good book. So he's released up 4, maybe 5 books now. That was number 3. My favourite wrestling autobiography, bar none, is the Bret Heenan Hart book. Growing up, he was my favourite wrestler. So it goes without saying that this book is my favourite. There's a picture there of him with his brother, Owen Hart, who unfortunately died doing something he loved, which was wrestling. He fell from like a wire that was lowering him down from the top of the arena. It says, Bret Hart achieved superstardom in pink tights and won titles across the globe, but there was a dark underside to wrestling, stagey showmanship, and Bret paid the price. There was betrayals, most famously by Vince McMahon, a man he had served loyally, and there were tragic deaths, including the loss of his brother Owen, who died when his stunt went terribly wrong. It's a very good book. I won't read everything about what it's about, but you get the idea. It's Bret Hart's autobiography. this one yet, I'm afraid, so I can't give you too much on this. But after proving his point, Ted DiBiase would laugh and fan out his large roll of hundreds, worsening the degradation of whoever had been foolish enough to accept his challenge or get in his way. Defeated opponents put to sleep his $1 million dream would have the added humiliation of awakening to discover that the $1 million man had been stuffing bills down their throats. Winning match after match, yet no closer to the championship, DiBiase wanted the title, but he couldn't seem to win it. His solution: pay Andre the Giant to win the title, make sure the referee was also taken care of, and then have Andre hand the championship title over to him. True to his taunt, the $1 million man had gotten his way, and Ted DiBiase became the most hated person in sports entertainment. I do need to read that because it is very good by the sounds of it. Next we have Shawn Michaels' first autobiography, Heartbreak and Triumph. I didn't enjoy this book so much. I've got to be honest, for what a great wrestler he was, I wasn't really into this book, and he's done one since this, which I don't have, which I've also heard isn't great. It's mainly about his religion. But I won't read this too much to read all that right now. Basically it's about Shawn Michaels' life, his early life in wrestling, with the drugs and the alcohol and everything else. I really need to find a new home for these books. At the minute they're in a cupboard under the stairs, and I think they're getting a bit damp. I need to look after them a bit better. Next we have, I thought I only had 3 of the Mick Foley books, actually 4, sorry. Mick Foley's Countdown to Lockdown. Countdown to Lockdown is an in-depth look at the 6-week period leading up to my biggest match in several years, a main event, 6 sides of steel. You know, a steel cage match, showdown, one of my greatest all-time opponents, Sting. So with this book as your admission ticket, I would take you on an all-access tour, not only behind the scenes, but inside my mind as well, as I try to find a way to regain the confidence, conditioning and passion that will be so vital if I'm going to be successful on the journey. That's back when he joined TNA for a little while. This is another book I've not got around to reading. I do need to. I've read pretty much 95% of these books, but there are a couple I've not read yet. That's the Kurt Angle book. I think the reason I haven't read this one is because, as you can tell from the picture, it's quite an old book, and I want to read about his life up to now. That's what annoys me about some autobiographies. They've released them so early that you don't get the full picture. Yeah, I'd love to read about his time in TNA, when he left WWE, when he went on to become, come back to WWE as commissioner. This mainly is about his early times with the Olympics and his time in WWE early on. It's not so much about like later on towards the end of his time in WWE. It goes to 2001, I think. Let's see. Some funny pictures there on the Undertaker's motorbike. Yeah, he's a great wrestler, Kurt Angle. It's a shame, he will start a couple of matches between now and when he fully retires, but I don't think I have too many more. This book I have read, God knows why, is Bill Goldberg. Again, it is about probably 10 years old now, so there's not, it's got recent stuff that's happened to him in there, especially his recent time in WWE. Next we have Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Stone Cold Truth. This book's great. I've read this a couple of times now. It starts off saying about how, I can't remember which WrestleMania it was now. Basically, he can't get out of bed the morning of WrestleMania due to the fact that he's in so much pain. Back in 2003, says, "Damn, I think I'm dying for sure. I'm getting off the elevator on the 27th floor to the Grand Hyatt Hotel in Seattle the night before WrestleMania, and my heart's beating so hard, I feel like it's going to crack a rib jumping out of my chest. I'm saying to myself, I'm 38 years old and I'm fixing to freaking die right here, right now. I'm having a damned heart attack, and I'm wondering how the hell it could have happened. I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin, the toughest SOB in World Wrestling Entertainment, better known as WWE. This is Saturday night and tomorrow's WrestleMania, the biggest pay-per-view event of the year. I'm in one of the biggest matches of my career, wrestling The Rock in my first real match after being out of the business for over 8 months. I've been working out twice a day at the gym and doing nothing but focusing on this match. Mentally, I'm ready. Despite all the challenges I've been through in the last couple of years, injuries, surgery and rehab, divorces, and most unexpectedly of all, my leaving WWE. Physically, I look like somebody who deserves the name Stone Cold, but truthfully, I'm a walking disaster area. My neck, my back, and my knees are a mess. I've got 2 fused discs in my back, and others just barely holding together. This book is great. Straight from the off, like literally the first page, you get right into it. We have another Mick Foley book. This is the second one, I think. Foley is good. It says, he's back with a vengeance, and you won't believe what he has to say this time. It's another one that I've read on a couple of occasions. This was his first one. Mankind, have a nice day. It's a very good book as well. If you're not into wrestling, you might not appreciate these books as much as wrestling fans, but if you just want to find out a little bit about wrestling, or maybe just about a different way of life, it's not just wrestling, it's about his life in general, how he came to be a wrestler, the choices he made, growing up. It's very good. So it says anything. Says Entertainment Weekly, Foley's hardcore account isn't for the faint of heart. Chicago Tribune offers vivid descriptions and debunks myths you don't have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy. My sentiment exactly. Or at least learn something from this book. Mick Foley is a funny, intelligent, interesting man with a fascinating story to tell, said the LA Times. It's a very good book. Next we have the second Hulk Hogan book. This one focuses more on his family life than wrestling. It says, I was right there, leaning on the side of the car in my hands when I finally saw Nick, my only son, folded up like an accordion with his head down by the gas pedal. Nick, I yelled. I could see he was alive. He turned his head. He stuck his hand out and gave me a thumbs up. For a second I was relieved. Then the chaos set in. The noise of engines, sirens, a saw, paramedics pulling John from the passenger seat. So much blood. So yeah, this was mainly about his family life. There with his wife at the time, not now. Oh no, sorry, that is his wife now. My bad. That's Jennifer, his new Mrs. Whether he's still with her, this was a good few years old as well. This book was probably my favourite wrestling book, and I could pick this up any time and read this. Ric Flair's autobiography, To Be the Man. Very, very good. With that triumphant cry, Nature Boy Ric Flair surpassed his predecessors and his peers to become one of the greatest professional wrestlers in history. To wrestling fans, the Nature Boy is a platinum blonde deity, a 16-time world champion. Slick Rick could convince television viewers that a momentous life experience would pass them by if they missed an upcoming match. His opponents were challenged with his simple taunt, to be the man, you have to beat the man. It's a very good book. If I had to recommend any of these I've shown you so far, there's still more here, but any of the ones I've shown you so far, if I had to recommend one to read, there'd be 3 of those. It'd be the Stone Cold book, the Ric Flair book, and the Bret Hart book. Bret Hart one especially. Now this is another one I've not read yet. This is Roddy Piper, In the Pit with Piper. I've not read this book, as I say, but I'm sure it's another good read. Roddy Piper was the best around for a long time. There he is taking on Ric Flair. Back in the 80s, I guess. When I got into wrestling, Piper was still going strong. I mean, it was like late 80s, early 90s, so he was still there. Then we have a book about wrestling in general. Monsters of the Mat. I can't say I've read this, I don't think. It's just in general about different wrestlers and shit like that. I don't know too much. I haven't read this book. It's about Chris Jericho and Undertaker. Just various bits on different wrestlers. It's all that you find in here. As I said, I will read this at some point, but it's not as good as an autobiography. This one I have read. It's a very good book. Rey Mysterio, Behind the Mask. Some of these time ago. It's called The Human Highlight Reel of Professional Wrestling. His high-flying acrobatics have thrilled fans on every continent. He's been crowned champion of the world's greatest wrestling promotions, from Mexico to the US, but he's never revealed the inside story of who he is until now. Wrestling fans know him as Rey Mysterio, an incredible luchador of unparalleled talent, the ultimate proof that good things come in small packages. Now, for the first time, Rey adds the personal side of his story, how he had to fight to get a tryout in the ring, who he was before Rey Mysterio Jr., what it was like to wrestle in Mexico from the bull rings to the rights, how he fought plans for his unmasking to WCW, and why he wishes he hadn't succeeded, the inside story of the 619, the impact of Eddie Guerrero, the personal struggle that cost him the ring time in 2008, his real passion in life as husband and father. It's a great book. Yep, these need to come out of that cupboard. It's starting to smell a little bit of bloody, old books. Pissing me off. The Rise and Fall of ECW. It's a great book. I wasn't really into ECW, the original one. I watched it when it became a WWE show. But you don't need to have watched it to enjoy this book. Paulie Dangerously and Bam Bam Bigelow, Taz. Everyone's passed through there at one point or another. Tommy Dreamer, obviously. Next we have the original Hulk Hogan autobiography, which is a great book. Hollywood Hulk Hogan. This one's a lot better than the one about his family. It's a very good book, this one is. I read this in a couple of days a few years ago. I was travelling on holiday or something like that. When I was, say a few years ago, I was 17 and I was driving somewhere to go on holiday, and by the time I got there I'd read half the book. The late great Eddie Guerrero, Cheating, Death, Stealing Life. This was actually after, I think it was after he died. This was released, I could be wrong. One of the most inspiring stories in wrestling history, Cheating, Death, Stealing Life, sees Eddie Guerrero recount his saga in remarkably candid fashion, chronicling a life of heartbreaks and painful personal struggles in frank graphic detail. So no, it was released whilst he was alive, but I think I read it after he passed away. Batista Unleashed. I read this because I was running out of autobiographies to read, wrestling ones. I put off reading this for a long time, but don't know why, because it's actually quite decent. Full of nice pictures for people who don't really want to read. With the Undertaker power slamming through a table. It's not a bad book. I wouldn't say it's the best of any of these. It probably made the top 10, but it's still a decent book. People around the world know Dave Batista as World Wrestling Entertainment's The Animal, the rope-shaking, spine-busting World Heavyweight Champion. Few fans, however, know that Batista didn't join the profession until he was 30 years old, an age at which many wrestlers are thinking about hanging up their boots. Nor do most fans know the tremendous toll the climb to the top has taken on Batista's personal life. And the last 3 books I've read, these 3 books, they were in February. I started these in December, and last week I finished reading the 3rd one. So look at that. It's not good. So excuse the fact that there's no cover on the side. My dog decided to chew this up a few years ago. So it's Chris Jericho, A Lion's Tale. It's the first one. Through the bag. From the age of 8, Chris dreamt of becoming a wrestler. Spending Saturday nights with his grandma watching his heroes Hulk Hogan and Jess Ventura battle it out in the ring. Chris was determined to follow in their footsteps, leaving home at 19 to join the Hart Brothers Pro Wrestling School. But it wasn't until he was 25 that Chris hit the big time. Nicknamed Lionheart, Chris eventually attained his ultimate goal, joining the WWF. He became one of their biggest stars, even defeating wrestling powerhouses The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night to be crowned the undisputed heavyweight champion. Now Chris dishes the dirt on his rivalries with other wrestling legends and tells of the trials he's faced. Whether ripped off by promoters, robbed at gunpoint or nearly paralysed after landing on his head during a match, Chris maintained his courage, determination and sense of humour about this dangerous and sometimes bizarre sport. Great book. Really sets the series off. He's actually released 4 books now. His recent one was actually last year, I think. I've not got that one yet. I've got his first 3 now. Then there's Chris Jericho, Undisputed. I got this for Christmas. As they were in February now, I've just finished this book. Picking up right where Lionsdale left off with his legendary 1999 entrance into the WWE, Jericho takes us from Chicago to Tokyo, New Delhi to Madison Square Garden, as he details his classic matches with The Rock, Steve Austin, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, along with all the politics and backstage drama he faced outside the ring. It was only after Jericho became the first undisputed world champion in the history of wrestling business that he became disenchanted and decided to turn his back on the ring to further his other lifelong dream, that of being a rock star. His band Fozzy toured the world, playing everywhere from Pennsylvania to London, all the while experiencing the same kinds of highs and lows he faced during his wrestling career. Chris also recounts his hilarious escapades of short-lived reality TV shows, made-for-television movies and interviewing fiascos, and along the way he was forced to deal with the deaths of his mother and long-time confidant Eddie Guerrero, as well as the horrific murder-suicide of his best friend Chris Benoit and his family. Jam-packed with Jericho's self-effacing humour and ridiculous random encounters with everyone from Arnold Schwarzenegger to Axl Rose, Undisputed is as direct as the man himself. This is probably the best of the 3 books, if I'm honest. I'm not sure, obviously I read his 4th, that could be fantastic. And the last one we have today is Chris Jericho, The Best in the World. I've got a couple more books, wrestling books, but I've got to find them out. And it's all about the rise of WWE in the 90s and the fall of WWE after the Attitude Era finished. So, this one, the best-selling author, wrestler and Chris Jericho returns with another insightful and hilarious account of his wild adventures in the absurd worlds of pro wrestling and showbiz. The Best in the World includes a behind-the-scenes account of Jericho becoming Wrestler of the Year for 2 consecutive years in 2008 and 2009, and features the final word on his feuds with Shawn Michaels and Rey Mysterio, his run-in with Mickey Rourke, life hanging out with the likes of Ozzy Osbourne, Mike Tyson and Lars Ulrich, and the resurrection of his band Fozzy, which saw them support Metallica and play to huge audiences in the UK and Europe. Acclaim for Chris Jericho and Disputed. It is here that Jericho shines and proves once again that next to Mick Foley, he is an insightful and funny observer of pro wrestling's absurd universe. And someone else, Jerry Green from Orlando Sentinel, the best book centered around a wrestler I've read. Very good wrestling book. And also about music as well, and movies and everything else Chris Jericho related. So, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment if you've read any of these and want to tell me your opinions, tell me about him. If you ask me about any, ask me about him. We can go into great detail on any of these if you want, and that's not a problem. I will be reading some of these again soon. As I do, I'll maybe tell you little stories that come from them. I plan on reading the Ric Flair book and Stone Cold book in the next couple of weeks, and maybe even the first Hulk Hogan book again. As I say, I've been Ollie. This is Ollie's ASMR Football World and WWE. We need to add that in there sooner rather than later. Whew. Take care. Have a great